Hi guys, today we'll watch the video of Costas Melas, History of the Hmong-Mien Languages. Probably you know him, he makes different videos about historical movements of languages for language families. And sometimes these videos are very controversial. For instance, I saw his video of Nilo-Saharan languages. He gave no sources. He put one branch of languages that was too close to Nubian, and all people who studied this branch concluded that it's close to Nubian, but he puts it as a third branch of East Sudanic, and I don't know which sources he uses, but it was very controversial, it was very fictional, it was of a bad quality. But if you search in YouTube, for instance, Hmong-Mien, Miao-Yao, then you always get this video as a recommendation. So let's see, maybe it's not so bad because the history of this family more transparent, I guess. It's not so controversial. It's a true family, proven by all scientists, the genetical unity of it. So maybe this video is not such a bad fiction like that of Nila Saharan. I will watch it for the first time, and I hope it won't make me angry. Okay, so it starts. Phew. He puts the original date of the common language to the second millennium BC. So when he thinks the two branches, Hmong and Mien, were separated. The common dating is 500 BC. He adds a millennia to this. So nothing happens. Oh, he draws a big original territory. Now the separation goes on Hmong and Mien. 700 BC. They are already separated. Well, it's but why? Well, okay. It doesn't play well with the history of Chinese imports because yes, there are some old Chinese, of course, but there are also Middle Chinese that were imported by both branches. Even if you don't know anything for sure, this dating by Costas Melas looks like too old, especially if we take into account that modern varieties are very closely related. not like varieties that were separated for 3 millennia, really. Not three, but 1,000 and a half. Well, if it was true that all these sub-branches would look like single families on their own, taking into account what we know about the general speed of language changes. Well, it depends really, but still it's too old. And the territory, he gives a very large territory for Hmong-Mien. Basically, the whole southern China. And they lose it with significant speed. And moreover, he puts their expansion to Southeastern Asia to medieval times. But they migrated there not in medieval times, but in more modern ones. So basically, he draws them as as they are now and projects this to medieval times. Well, I didn't expect this video to be so controversial because this family is established. Well, he shows some expansions in recent times to Southeast Asia. Maybe in this point he's right, but the original date was too early and the development of modern branches was too early. Speaking of the internal structure, he proposes the internal structure is a questionable thing, but he doesn't distinguish northern Hmong that are very conservative and probably they constitute a branch. Yes, he distinguishes Pahong. Well, it's okay, it can be, but well, with Mian subdivisions, he also goes quite traditionally, but his division of Mon is very, very questionable. So yeah, this video is very questionable. And does he have some sources? No, he doesn't. Only for music. Well, well. But okay, maybe we will give him one more chance someday with another family. Welcome to Miao-Yao. Modern Miao-Yao varieties have no prefixes and suffixes. To form complex words, typical sinosphere strategies are used. Two words compounding, AB, for instance, good boy, four words compounding, like ABAC or ABCB patterns, for instance, good boy, good son, or good boy, son, boy, and red application, for instance, boy, boy. Two morphological processes are extremely rare. In some Hmong varieties, the reciprocal particle, that means each other, from Chinese word with the meaning mutually, changes its tone and rhyme depending on the verbal root to which it's joined. White Hmong uses tone sandhi to distinguish meaning in some compounds and has meaningful patterns of consonant, vowel, and tone alternations in ideophones, in words that sound exactly like what they mean. Well, the most interesting example can be seen in Mon Mao variety, where each of classifiers has three forms. Default one is different core vowels, has augmentative meaning, or is used to denote multiple things. In the sentence, there were no many heads, it means the quantity of heads, and in a construction one woman, it means that a woman is large or old, possibly. To make the meaning of a classifier a normal one, not colored, the core vowel is changed to the diphthong I. In this sentence, give my hats back. The word for hats is uncolored. And when we change the vowel core to a simple A, it has a diminutive meaning. It denotes few in quantity, things or delicate, lovable objects. So in this case, in the construction one daughter, such usage of a classifier means that this daughter is especially lovely. The common Miao-Yao language probably had richer morphology, and the evidence for this will be presented in the next chapters. Now let's examine the final part of Hmong-Mien syllable, its rhyme. Here, Mian branch is more helpful because Hmong is characteristic of many rhyme mergers. For instance, common Hmong shows only 14 rhyme contrasts compared to 60 contrasts of Mian. You can see how 5 different common Hmong-Mien diphthongs became just one in common Hmong, with very different realizations in modern varieties. Coda consonants are also often simplified in Hmong, and thus two words with different meanings became just a single form with the simplification of the final nasal. However, there are also cases when the rhyme merger occurred in Mian and didn't occur in Hmong. So the combined evidence from both branches are needed to reconstruct the original rhyme. Here goes the full list of Mian mergers and their unmerged Hmong counterparts. Hmong-Mien syntax is similar to Chinese. There are basically two worldwide types of constructions, a serial one and embedded one. In serial case, two actions are described in a serial manner, so at first the first one and lately the second one. like in the sentence, he bears a book, he goes near me. In the embedded case, one of the actions is embedded to the second one. He goes near me bearing a book. And the serial case is more typical for Southeast Asian languages, for Chinese, and for Miao-Yao. There is also a special particle for polar, yes, no questions. Question words are used exactly in the place where the answer word they represent would be put in the corresponding answer or statement. There are also A not A constructions, so-called adversative passives to describe unpleasant actions, and there are final discourse particles to mention the speaker's attitude to the saying. Verbal aspect is more often marked than verbal tense. Some of these syntax features is of Chinese origin, and there are also grammar words that are Chinese origin. For instance, there is a Chinese word to obtain, teak, Hmong-Mien teuk, and modern tau, that used as a past proverbal auxiliary and ability and possibility post-verbal model. And there are 4 examples of Mandarin words that are used in modern Hmong-Mien as grammar words, similarly to their role in Chinese. SIP reciprocal particle, and you can compare it to a more ancient borrowing we discussed at the beginning. It's the same function. Then Laum perfect marker, Vinci sentence clause joiner is the meaning because, and a particle tapsis is the meaning but. Thank you for the attention and see you.